and he preached his own conception of non-violence and deprecated even the animal sacrifices sanctioned in the Vedas. At the time when Lord Buddha appeared, the people in general were atheistic and preferred animal flesh to anything else. On the plea of Vedic sacrifice, every place was practically turned into a slaughterhouse, and animal killing was indulged in unrestrictedly. Lord Buddha preached non-violence, taking pity on the poor animals. He preached that he did not believe in the tenets of Vedas and stressed the adverse psychological effects incurred by animal killing. Less intelligent men of the age of Kali, who had no faith in God, followed his principle, and for the time being, they were trained in moral discipline and non-violence, the preliminary steps for proceeding further on the path of God realization. He deluded the atheists because atheists who followed his principles did not believe in God, but they kept their absolute faith in Lord Buddha, who himself was the incarnation of God. Thus, the faithless people were made to believe in God in the form of the Lord Buddha. That was the mercy of Lord Buddha. He made the faithless faithful to him. Killing of animals before the advent of Lord Buddha was the most prominent feature of the society. People claimed that these were Vedic sacrifices. When the Vedas are not accepted through the authoritative disciplic succession, the casual readers of the Vedas are misled by the flowery languages of that system of knowledge. In Bhagavad Gita, a comment has been made by such a foolish scholars, avipaschita, the foolish scholars of Vedic literature who do not care to receive the transcendental message through the transcendentally realized sources of disciplic succession are sure to be bewildered. To them, the ritualistic ceremonies are considered to be all in all. They have no depth of knowledge. According to Bhagavad Gita 15.15, Vedascha sarva aham eva vedya. The whole system of Vedas is to lead one gradually to the path of the Supreme Lord. The whole theme of Vedic literature is to know the Supreme Lord, the individual soul, the cosmic situation, and the relation between all these items. When the relation is known, the relative function begins. As a result of such a function, the ultimate goal of life, or going back to Godhead, takes place in the easiest manner. Unfortunately, unauthorized scholars of the Vedas become captivated by purificatory ceremonies only, and natural progress is thereby checked. To such bewildered persons of atheistic propensity, Lord Buddha is the emblem of theism. He therefore first of all wanted to check the habit of animal killing. The animal killers are dangerous elements on the path of going back to Godhead. There are two types of animal killer. The soul is also sometimes called the animal or the living being. Therefore, both the slaughterhouse of animals and those who have lost their identity of soul are animal killers. Maharaj Parikshit said that only the animal killer cannot relish the transcendental message of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, if people are to be educated to the path of Godhead, they must be taught first and foremost to stop the process of animal killing as above mentioned. It is nonsensical to say that animal killing has nothing to do with spiritual realization. By this dangerous theory, many so-called sannyasis have sprung up by the grace of Kali Yuga who preach animal killing under the garb of Vedas. The subject matter has already been discussed in the conversation between Lord Chaitanya and Maulana Chand Qazi Sahib. The animal sacrifice as stated in the Vedas is different from unrestricted animal killing in the slaughterhouse. Because the Asuras or the so-called scholars of Vedic literatures put forward the evidence of animal killings in the Vedas, Lord Buddha superficially denied the authority of the Vedas. This rejection of Vedas by Lord Buddha was adopted in order to save people from the vice of animal killing as well as to save the poor animals from the slaughtering process of their big brothers who clamor for universal brotherhood, peace, justice and equity. There is no justice when there is animal killing. Lord Buddha wanted to stop it completely. Therefore, his cult of ahimsa was propagated not only in India but also outside the country. Technically, Lord Buddha's philosophy is called atheistic because there is no acceptance of the Supreme Lord, and because that system of philosophy denied the authority of the Vedas, but that is an act of camouflage by the Lord. Lord Buddha is the incarnation of Godhead. As such, he is the original propounder of Vedic knowledge. He therefore cannot reject Vedic philosophy, but he rejected it outwardly because of the Swar Dvisha, or the demons who are always envious of the devotees of Godhead. Try to support cow killing or animal killing from the pages of the Vedas. And this is now being done by modernized sannyasis. Lord Buddha had to reject the authorities of Vedas altogether. This is simply technical, and had it not been so, he would not have been accepted as the incarnation of Godhead, nor he would have been worshipped in the transcendental songs of poet Jayadeva, who is the Vaishnava Acharya. Lord Buddha preached the preliminary principles of the Vedas in a manner suitable for the time being, and so also did Shankaracharya to establish the authorities of the Veda. Therefore, both Lord Buddha and Acharya Shankara paved the path of theism, and Vaishnava Acharyas, specifically Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, led the people on the path towards the realization of going back to Godhead. We are glad that people are taking interest in the non-violent movement of Lord Buddha, but will they take the matter very seriously and close the animal slaughterhouses altogether? If not, there is no meaning to the Ahimsa cult. Srimad Bhagavatam was composed just prior to the beginning of age of Kali, about 5,000 years ago, and Lord Buddha appeared about 2600 years ago. Therefore, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Buddha is foretold. Such is the authority of this clear scripture. There are many such prophecies, and they are being fulfilled one after another. They will indicate the positive standing of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is without trace of mistake, illusion, cheating, and imperfection, which are the four flaws of all conditioned souls. The liberated souls are above these flaws. Therefore, they can see and foretell things which are to take place on distant future dates. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshataya Hare Krishna. Tata Kalau Samprivite Sammahoya Suradvisham Buddho Namne Agnya Sutta Kikteshu Bhavishyati. Then in the beginning of Kali Yuga, the Lord will appear as Lord Buddha, the son of Ajnana, in the province of Gaya, just for the purpose of deluding those who are envious of the faithful thieves. Hare Krishna. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, we are discussing all the incarnations which came, but in particularly in this verse, it's mentioned Kikiteshu Bhavishyati. In future, someone is going to come. So here we can understand the scriptures. They even give evidence of the incarnations which have not come, but they will come in the future. So as we are discussing about avatars, we need to understand the concept of avatars. It's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 4 chapter 7th verse, why does Krishna descends? Because if we understand, this chapter is titled Krishna, the source of all incarnation, and in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says why he descends. The verse is like this: Yada yada hi dharmasya gilanir bhavati bharata abhuthyanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijami aham. Whenever and wherever there is decline of religion and increase of irreligious principles, then Krishna incarnates again and again. So this is the purpose of the Lord. And if we see, there are different types of avatars. As we understand, there are guna avatars, there are lila avatars, just like Nrsimhadev, Lord Rama, Kurma avatars. So these are lila avatars, and they have a specific function. For example, Krishna, he came as Hamsa avatara in Satyuga to teach meditation, and he also came as Yajna avatara to teach Yajna, how to perform Yajna. Similarly, these are different kind of incarnation. They come to teach a specific purpose, and it's not like they are just like this is just scholars, they try to deride this as Hindu mythology. This is something which is believed just by Hindus, just by Indians. They believe this thing, but actually it's not like this. Avatara, this incarnation of God, he can appear anywhere and everywhere, wherever he desires so. but we have to understand the aim of a particular Avatara is to lead people towards God realization, and in each Avatara he speaks as much as it is to be understood by people of that age. And it doesn't mean that he comes personally. Sometimes he sends his bona fide representatives in form of his son, and sometimes his servant, or sometimes he himself comes in disguised form. So he will in these avatars, they will speak about God consciousness as much as the people of that time can understand, because we have to ensure like people they get the point, because Vedas they are eternal. But why again Krishna has to come again and again? Because sometimes they miss the point. So again, to re-establish the principle to lead people to God realization, this avatars they come again and again. Here we understand about Lord Buddha's descent, like why he had to actually descend, because there was rampant animal killing on the authority of Vedas. So if we understand, Vedas they recommend animal sacrifices, but this is not something like which everyone can do. If we understand from Srimad Bhagavatam, all kinds of sacrifices they are stopped in Kali Yuga, because we don't have proper persons to perform these kind of sacrifices, and we don't have proper circumstances to do so. So animal sacrifice, they used to be animal sacrifice, but why it used to be there? One may question. Animals. Why are you including animals? If you want to practice some religion, you should practice on your own. You should not leave the animals out of religion, out of your belief. They will say. But actually, if we understand these animal sacrifices, they were used not to kill animals, but to give them new life. If we understand, Prabhupada writes in 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam in 4th chapter, 6th verse. In the Prabhupada mentioned like what was the animal sacrifice it was actually meant for. It was meant for testing the Vedic mantra. What would happen? These Brahmanas they would need to test a mantra. So for that, qualified Brahmanas they would need to test a mantra. And for that, an old animal, it will be offered as a sacrifice, and he would be immediately rejuvenated. He will get his new life again immediately. So it is something Prabhupada compares it to sometimes modern science to try to test the effectiveness of the medicine. They test on animals. So it's similar to this, but in modern science, the animals they lose it. But in Vedas, they get a new life. We have to understand this is welfare on the platform of soul, which is people they cannot comprehend. In today's times, if we tell people, they might understand welfare on the platform of body, just like going to giving food, giving relief from some sickness, all of these. Kind of bodily social welfare work they may understand, but they may not understand like the actual welfare on the platform of soul, because all of this bodily work is a temporary relief. Just like we understand from Bhagavad Gita, this body is just like a covering, it's like a dress. I'm wearing some kurta, so this is a dress, I'm not this kurta. So similarly, this body is just like this dress. If we try to give some relief to the body, and it's a temporary relief, because just as a man is drowning in the ocean, we cannot save the man just by saving the dress, just by rescuing the body. We have to save the man. So similarly, we have to understand that the person is not different from the body. The soul is different from the body. And the body is changing. At some point of time, the body will vanish, but the person will remain. And it is actually on this platform, we can do some permanent welfare, because we may do welfare on bodily platform. That may help for some time, but it will not help him truly, because in a sense the life is eternal, and the reason of like our sufferings, why we are suffering, is because of our karma. And when we understand from Vedic scriptures, like how we are entangled in this world, what is this world meant for, why we came here. When we understand all of these things, and then we try to follow, the injunctions of the Lord, because ultimately, if we understand, the soul is entangled in this material world because of his desire to dominate the material nature. Everyone here wants to become a controller. Everyone wants to engage others in his own service. So this is the role of taking God. Everyone wants to Ishvaro aham bhogi siddho aham bhagwan siddho aham balwan sukhi. This comes in 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna there he describes how demoniac person thinks. So if we understand from this verse, Ishvaro aham bhogi, I am controller and I am the enjoyer, and siddho aham balwan sukhi, I am perfect and I am the most powerful person. If we understand this kind of mentality is present in everyone. Everyone wants to control. Everyone wants to enjoy for their own benefit, and everyone thinks they are perfect. Everyone wants to engage others in their own service. But this is the position of God. So we came here to imitate as God. But if we see practically, we cannot imitate God, because for some time one may be powerful, one may be in top of the world like athletes, one may have the greatest record for something for some of the time, one may be elected as president or prime minister for some of the time, but again he has to come down. So we cannot remain a supreme controller. Our constitutional position is to remain subordinate to the servant of to the God as a servant. If we understand through Shastra and logic also, we are always a servant. We are never enjoyer. If you see, just like people, even a prime minister, he has to serve the public. If he doesn't serve, then he will be thrown out. Similarly, each and every one of us, he is a servant. He is under control by Maya. But out of illusion, we think that we are free. We are independent. We can do anything we like. But actually, we are very stringently controlled by Maya, and and due to this reason, we are suffering. So we are always a servant, and someone is serving society, someone is serving their nation, someone is serving their family, if someone doesn't have a family, they keep a dog and they serve him. So this propensity of serving is there, but actually it's misdirected, because this is all temporary. What is permanent is service to Krishna, service to God. That is permanent. If we understand, if we act on that platform, that is actual beneficial work that will permanently help. So that's why book distribution is considered to be the highest welfare activities. So because in that we approach people and we tell people like the reason of suffering, whatever we are suffering is due to our karmas, and we can get out of it if we surrender to Krishna, if we follow his instruction, if we try to please him. And by this, you will become happy and everyone can experience that happiness. So that's why this welfare activity on the platform of soul, this must be encouraged. Now we have so much of, we are stressing so much on the welfare activities on the platform of body. For example, we want peace, we want brotherhood. For that we establish United Nations. But as Prabhupada says, just the flags are increasing in United Nations. United Nations is when nations they are coming together so that everyone's stay is united and there is no war like World War again. That's why it was formed. But again, if we see this nowadays, not like last few years, there's wars going on between Russia and Ukraine. Both are members of United Nations, but no one is saying, no one is intervening in that matter, because actually everyone is self-interested. Because this is the basic default, basic defect of the soul, to be self-interested. But if they understand this self-interest lies in serving Vishnu, nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. If they understand, to serve God, that is actual our self-interest. So by that, by that understanding, we can actually achieve universal brotherhood. And we see this is practical. We see in ISKCON, devotees from Russia, devotees from Ukraine, they are living together in Mayapur and in so many other places. And they are okay, they are not fighting. And not only these two places, from all over the world, people they are coming from different background, from different cultures, with countries having no relation to Vedic culture at all. They are coming together, they are practicing Krishna consciousness, and they are staying together. So this is not something, some cultural influence or some, some sort of, practice which someone is doing, but actually this is the basic function of soul, because we understand from Bhagavad Gita, all living entities, they are soul, they are part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna says, Mame vansho jiv loke jiva bhuta sanatana. So each and every one of us is a soul. So what is the function of soul? To serve God in loving relationship, to serve Krishna lovingly in spiritual world. But now that we have forgotten. But if we act on that platform, we can understand when we act on that platform, we ourselves experience that kind of happiness which we are hankering in this world. So when everyone acts on this platform, we are immediately satisfied. Why all of these crimes they are happening? Because they are not satisfied. They have illicit desires. They want to fulfill those desires. But if we come to the spiritual platform, all of our desires will be fulfilled. Fulfilled in a sense, when we serve Krishna, we don't want anything more. We are satisfied. But you will not find a single materialist who will have this kind of satisfaction, because even though after working so hard, earning so much, having achieved all of fame, position, prestige, they are all empty from inside, because they are disconnected from their true self. They are thinking they are this body, they are this lump of matter, and these positions, these prestige, all of this will not make us happy. These cars, this advancement, this will not make us happy. Who actually enjoys, we understand, the soul, this is like a dead body and a living body. Both have same chemical composition. But if we analyze, the soul is not there in the dead body. Therefore, the dead body cannot enjoy. So it is the soul who actually enjoys. So actual happiness exists on the platform of soul. And if we act on that platform, we will be satisfied. Otherwise, we may try to satisfy our desires, our ambitions, our goals. Even though, first of all, it's hard, so much endeavor. But even though, if we satisfy those, there might be little satisfaction, but you will not feel fully satisfied. Because after that, more of the desires will come, more desires to achieve. So, if we are not able to fulfill that, then again satisfaction, there will be dissatisfaction. So we understand this is the basic misunderstanding about our personal identity, who we are, and from that all other kind of misunderstandings they sprung up. So if we just fix this thing, then automatically other things, why society is not functioning well, why people they are not dealing with each other properly, why do we why people they are suffering unnecessarily. Bangalore, there is no water in Bangalore. Why this? If God is there, then God should provide us for our necessities. But they don't understand. They don't care for God. They don't understand His plan. They don't want to follow Him. They just want to enjoy the property of the God, and they want to just use it for their own benefit, on selfish interests. So if we understand our interest in serving Krishna, then Krishna He provides everything. He provides, because there is a plan of this world that we must understand. There is people they might say, some might object, what is wrong with satisfying our own desires? We are satisfying our own desires. So what's wrong in this? There should not be nothing wrong. Why is Krishna objecting this? There is something wrong in that. Actually, if we understand the root cause of Arjuna asked such a question in Bhagavad Gita, like why we are impelled to do sin even though when we don't want to. Sometimes we might experience, we know this is wrong, but still we are forced to do something. So that is due to kama. Krishna says kama. It actually means intense desire for something. So when we sometimes intensely desire for something, we are not able to control our mind, our desire, and it increases in such a way that we act in sinful ways. So that's why this fulfilling our desire, it can be dangerous because it can lead to degradation, it can lead to sinful acts. That's why Krishna is saying not to desire for ourselves, but to serve Krishna. And if we do that, you feel why we are desiring different things, because we want to be happy, we want to be satisfied. But actual satisfaction is lying in serving God. Everyone, if you see from our Ramayana, everyone is serving God there. Lakshman is serving God, Mother Sita is serving Lord Ram, Hanuman is serving Lord Ram, Sugriv is serving Lord Ram. If we understand, this is where Shastras, they are trying to push us, that we understand from all of these examples that we must sacrifice our personal comforts and happiness for the pleasure of Lord, and by this way we will become happy. You see, Krishna, whenever he comes, to show his pastimes, which are going on eternally in the spiritual world, he shows like how Krishna, he is enjoying with his devotees, and we understand that the devotees, they are enjoying more than Krishna. And to understand this only, Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like, how can the devotees, they are enjoying more than me? So to understand that, Krishna himself comes as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to relish his own devotion, and of course to teach others. So this is the main point that we are missing, like to understand that we are not this body, we are soul, and to act on that platform. And if we have this kind of understanding, then we can understand the purpose of the Vedas, because this animal killing was there, in animal sacrifices are there in the Veda, but they were not taken with proper understanding. What actually they were misusing the authorities of the Vedas. Vedas, they are actually meant for understanding Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Vedesya chahe sarva aham eva vedyo. By Vedas, Krishna is to be known. So this is the goal of Vedas, to know Krishna, to who we are, who is absolute truth, what is this world. And with this understanding, if we act, then actually we are led to progression in God realization, which is the aim of life. And if we understand the Buddha, Lord Buddha, he came, he taught ahimsa, the principle of non-violence. So non-violence, it was his main teaching. So means if we kill animals for the satisfaction of our tongue, it is violence. He didn't say just be non-violent to your brother, to your humanity, but to practice, to not to kill any living being. Even an ant you should not kill. So one must practice non-violence. So those who are meat eaters, they cannot be non-violent. So means they are committing violence on the animals. And Buddha says, like, even those who have, because if you understand in Buddhism also, although this is the main tenet, there are some Buddhists who eat meat. I was researching, there are some Buddhists who are eating meat. So, but we must understand, then if they are eating meat, then how they are following the principle of Buddha, because this is the first precept of Buddhism, to be non-violent. So we must understand, like, those kind of Buddhist followers, they are not really followers of Buddha, because first the teaching says ahimsa. And the second, the other thing we can understand, like, we are meant to follow Vedas, but here we understand Lord Buddha, he rejected the Vedas outwardly, means there is something in Vedas that you cannot understand. So for the time being, outwardly Lord Buddha, he rejected it. So how do we understand, if you reject Vedas, then how will you advance in spiritual life, right? Because we have to follow word of God, we have to follow Shastra, but it says Lord Buddha, he rejected Vedas outwardly. So we understand, even if they are not following Vedas, at least they are not going down by committing sinful acts, by killing animals. So in that way they will be stopped from degrading down further, and in this way they will be not degraded. So that's why in that way Krishna, they are getting benefited. And we understand from Buddha's descents that Animal killing, it's a very big thing, it's a very grievous sin, because God himself, he is coming to stop this. We must understand the gravity of the situation. It's not that we can, we can expect peace and we can kill animals and still be, good, pious people. It's not like this. One must, stop this violence on the animal. And we understand this Buddha, he came, but the atheists, they didn't believe in God, but he tricked them into believing into him. Whatever he said, they are following. If you see, Buddhism means those who are following Buddha. So means you are following Buddha, so they are believing in Buddha. So they didn't have faith in God, but they had faith in Buddha. So in this way, he tricked them into following him. So we understand, like, these kind of sacrifices were there, but actual sacrifice, what it means is to satisfy Vishnu, to satisfy Krishna, which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught. In Kali Yuga, all types of sacrifices, they are forbidden, and what is recommended? To do Sankirtan Yajna. So even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is predicted in Bhagavatam, Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopanga Strapashadam Yajna Sankirtana Prayar Yajanti Hi Sumet. It says in Bhagavatam, like, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come. He is coming with his associate, and he is doing Sankirtana Yajna, Yajna Sankirtana Praya. He is doing Sankirtana Yajna. And so, if we understand from Shastra, for this age, we must chant of names of Krishna to get liberation. All other types of rituals, sacrifices, we cannot do. For this age, only Sankirtana, only Harinam, only Sankirtan is the remedy for getting liberation, to getting the highest perfection. So we understand, like, the purpose of sacrifices is to please Krishna. And if we understand, if we perform Sankirtana Yajna, if we chant names of Krishna, we are advancing on that path. And when we do that, it's not something which takes lot of effort. Everywhere, anyone can do this, and there is no really, there is no cost in it. There is, it's free of cost. Even the poorest of the poor people, they can do this type of yajna, which gives the highest benefit, love of God. So that's why it's said yajanti hi sumedsa. People, those who are intelligent, they will take it, because they will understand there is no, there is not something we have to spend money on. There's no particular place you have to go to do this. You can do it anywhere. You can do it anytime. There is no restriction of such as time, place, circumstance, and there is no cost in it. So those who understand such a great benediction it is to perform this yajna, and it's easy to perform. So it is practical. People, they are looking for practical things. They want to be practical. So this is the practical means of realizing God. But still, there are people, they do not take to this. That's why they, in Kali Yuga, people, they are termed as manda, sumanda, mandbhagya, unfortunate, very lazy, because such a easy thing to do, but still they are not taking it. Then what can you say? That they are just unfortunate. So we must understand, like, the mode of this mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we should try to follow it. And in this way, we'll get a perfection. And one more thing here is mentioned, like this Bhagavatam. It's predicting Lord Buddha. If you understand, Bhagavatam was spoken just when the Kali Yuga was about to begin, around 5,000 years ago. And Lord Buddha, we understand, he came something around 2,600 years ago. So means Lord Buddha, Srimad Bhagavatam is predicting Lord Buddha's descent. Like someone will come in this age. Who will do this? He will be born in Gaya. His region is given. His name is given. Everything is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. So we can understand this is not something imaginary. Someone wrote it. We are just believing. Hindus they believe Bhagavatam. Christians they don't believe. Atheists they don't believe. So this is just belief. One may believe, one may not believe. It doesn't matter. But it's not like this. It's actually predicting the events which are going to happen. And there are many such prophecies. Just like, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is predicted. We just saw that verse. Like, all of these predictions are there, which makes Srimad Bhagavatam authoritative. It's not something belief followed by some Bengali Vaishnavas. It's not like this. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, is authoritative text coming from God Himself. So we must understand this is the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam. And because it's composed by Vyasadeva, it's free from mistake, illusion, cheating and imperfection. These 4 defects, it's free from these 4 defects. Because Vyasadeva is a self-realized soul. And only those self-realized soul, they can understand, they can predict, they can foretell the futures which are going to take place. And one very important thing which we can understand from this verse as well, like there would be many bogus incarnations. Now next verse is going to be on Kalki. If you see Kalki Avatar, so many lists will come. This person is claiming to be Avatar, that person is claiming to be Avatar. But we understand from Shastra, like all of these people, they are just cheating everyone. Because to be Avatar, it's not so cheap that you can just claim to be incarnation of God. You have to be, incarnation has to be accepted on the authorities of the Shastras. So from these things, we should try to understand like what is the purpose of each and every incarnation, what they are coming to teach us. And especially, in recent times, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. So when we understand these things, we can get the benefit from the teachings, because whatever they teach, whatever they do, it's not for them, it's for us. They do not get benefit, because they are not like worldly, materialistic person, that they are doing things for their own benefit. They want to give benefit to others. So that is, when they want to give, then we should reciprocate by accepting their teachings, whatever they are teaching. And in this way, we will be benefited. Hare Krishna. Any questions?
Prajit, is there a mention of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Bhagavatam, like Buddha will come?
It's mentioned. See, we understand, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is not this is hidden Chana Avtara, they say. This is hidden Avtara. It's indirect references are given, because it's hidden Avtara. Hidden means it will not be given like this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to appear, but it's hidden, because if you see this verse in 11th canto of 5th chapter of Bhagavatam, 32, verse number 32, it says, Krishna Varnam Tisha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yagya Sankirtana Prayar Yajanti Hi Sumetsata. The Krishna Varnam, Tusha is Krishna, Akrishnam. It says, means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come chanting names of Krishna, but is not of color of Krishna, Akrishna. Krishna also means black. Akrishna is not of the color black. And he'll come with his Parshada, Sango Pangastra Parshadam. So he'll come with his associate, and what will he do? We understand from life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what did he do? He propagated this Sankirtana movement. So it's mentioned, Yagya Sankirtana Prayar Yajanti Hi Sumedha. So like this we understand. From Bhagavatam also it's mentioning about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this, you see this verse, exactly this description is matching with the this pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. From this we can understand, actually Srimad Bhagavatam is predicting the descent of Mahaprabhu.
Like what will be the position of those people who follow Buddha properly? Because he is Lord himself. So like will there be purification like that?
This is we have to understand each and every incarnation of Lord. So Lord Buddha, he came to teach Buddhism, but that was for the time being. You understand? After Buddha, he defied authorities of Vedas. But after that, Shankaracharya, he re-established the authorities. He defeated Buddhists. He converted, all the Buddhists, back to followers of Vedas. And we understand, later on, Vaishnavacharyas, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, they came, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, which they actually show what actually true religion is, to be completely under God, to be fully devoted to Him. But those Buddhists, that was required for that time because of being too much society being influenced by sinful activities of killing animals. So for that time it was required. So it was just for that timing. It's not like this is the ultimate goal. If we analyze philosophy of Buddhism, there is just there is no ultimate happiness which we are searching for. There is just removal of distress by annihilating this existence. They say nirvana. If you somehow attain nirvana, then you will just not exist. That is not which everyone is looking for. Everyone is looking for enjoy. Vedas, they say anand myo bhyasa. We cannot just live without enjoyment. Enjoyment must be there, but it's spiritual enjoyment, not this degraded material enjoyment. So from this we can understand this Buddhism. It was just required for the timing. It's not complete philosophy or the complete goal of Vedas. So this is how we can understand.
If Buddha has to come, means Shankaracharya means instead of Buddha, Shankaracharya came and he
you
but
could.
why Buddha has to come? Have to perish all the Vedas and then have to come Shankaracharya and then he again have to make the very.
See, Krishna, he sees the situation. If he sees some jiva, he can do that work. If some normal empowered jiva, they can do that work. Krishna doesn't need to come. Krishna, and sometimes he'll just send his representative, just like Shankaracharya, he came. But if he sees this is too much, then he takes things in his own hand. Then he comes. Then after that he sees if someone else can do, just like we understand Adi Shankaracharya, Lord Shiva, he came as Adi Shankaracharya. Then he takes the role of defeating Buddhism. So like this, Krishna, he sees the situation, whatever is required, he does it. So if he sees things can be handled by his devotees, he'll send his devotee. Otherwise he'll come himself. So in this manner we can understand this. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.